Before we came to Houston, we were living with my grandmother, and I remember getting off the school bus one day, and my mom was at home when she would normally be at work, and she kind of sat me down and she said, well, we're leaving. Either you're going to stay or you're going to come with me. And at that time, it's always been me and my mom, so I kind of figured at 8, I can't let her go without anybody, so I'm going to go. And I just remember saying, just don't bring everything, just grab, what we can carry. And we left from there, and, I depended on her to take care of me from that point. I trusted in her. We always had a family around, so it was just, I listened and I said, well, I'm going to come with you, and trusted that we were going to be okay. When I got off the bus, it was a lot of, I remember being scared. It was a lot of people. And I remember her telling me to sit down, and it was a chair with a TV connected to it. And I remember her just leaving me there and saying, watch this stuff. And I said, okay, and I was, tired and wondering, wanting to ask questions. And, she said, well, I'm going to go over here. And I remember her talking to people, just asking around, asking people different things. But I remember just being really tired and wondering what was going on, nervous. But for the most part, just kind of wondering, what are we doing here? Where are we going to go? But like I said, when you're that age, you trust your parents to take care of you, and you trust her to make the best decision. So you just sit back and wait for things to happen. I remember when we got there, it was pretty late. I think everybody by that time had gone to bed, and we were the only people that were coming up. And it was the room right when you go up the steps. There's a room right when you go up the steps is the door right there. And I remember it was another lady and her daughter in there. And, we came in, and me and my mom laid in the same bed and went to sleep. And from that, I remember that night and just kind of being like, okay, we're going to be all right. Going to school in Houston, when I first got here, it was 3 weeks to the end of the school year, and I went to Rusk Elementary. And it was rough because I had already made friends in the 3rd grade in Louisiana. And coming at the end of school when, everybody had taken was a toss at that time, taking that test and just kind of being thrown into a situation where you're just like, well, you have 3 weeks to make friends. I don't really know anybody. It's in the school year. But I've always been somebody that can adapt, and, I'm a real people person. So, I just got through the last 3 weeks of school and went towards the summer. Being 8 and being homeless, I never really even looked at it as being homeless because I never felt homeless. Even though, we lived at the Star of Hope, I felt like my mom gave me the best of what she could give. We, at that point, I had never really ever worn clothes by other people's donations, but, I feel like she made the best pickings, and even though, we lived here, I remember when she first got her first temporary job, like, I asked for these one pair of Jordans at the store. And even if I had everything else that was on from someone else, I got those pair of shoes that I wanted. So I never really felt like I was shortchanged, even though I was here. The next few years, it was more so, me and my mom getting on our feet. I think that, from 8 to 11, it was just her working, me going to school. Those years really allowed me to learn how to be very independent and, just to take care of myself and be responsible. I had a lot of responsibilities at that time that a lot of kids don't have. We kind of trusted in each other. Graduation day for me it was all a blur, really, because I really didn't, it came so fast. 5 years goes so fast, and you first leave home and you say, well, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to win my conference. I'm going to do all these things. And now those years, 18 to 22, they fly by. So seeing my family that we left behind come to, at that point, I think I'm the first person to graduate from college in my family, the first woman. Seeing them come and being just so proud to say, well, Michelle left, and look at what Teih has done. And it gives my families or my cousins younger than me, someone to look at and say, well, she did it and I can't. I can do it too. So for me, I was really proud to have all of the people around me that were important to come support me in something I had really worked at that point really hard for. So one of the best days of my life. I'd definitely like to send a heartfelt thank you to all the faculty at the Star of Hope. I'd like to thank all of the donors and the volunteers that spend their time here on the weekends when they could be at home with their own families. I'd like to thank all the other mothers at that time when we were at the Star of Hope that took their time out to actually watch other people's kids while mothers were trying to go on interviews or trying to find jobs. All those things really make a person if they're paying attention. And at that time, at 8 years old, I picked up on a lot of that, a lot of those lifelong lessons, and I appreciate everybody that really opened me up to make me the person I am today.